Don't ever engage with any of the actual source material. Always watch, like maliciously cut clips or edits, and then show that to your audience, pretend that's the reality, and then move on to the next thing. That's it. And like that clip right there, that was literally cut from a conversation I had with JJ, where I'm talking about, like, I think being constructive in debates is more effective than being destructive in debates all the time. It's just so gross. I don't know how I know how he lives with himself. He's trolling at this point. No, he's not trolling, but this is intentional. It's always the cope that his fan base will buy. Also, notice how I Googled the story, and then I found the story, and then I'm watching the full clip of him explaining it here, even though he's still gonna say that this was out of context, and then go back to watching a little anti-fan account of mine in order to prove my hypocrisy by cutting 3-second statements out of different conversations 6 years apart from each other. But his fan base will still eat the slop up, even though he's like just lying. He's just lying. Hamas Sabi is molding on Destiny right now. Is there just nothing else for him to talk about?
And it's very frustrating because you end up making your audience less intellectually curious. You end up making your audience intellectually incurious people who are constantly seeking out talking points rather than any sort of additional truth seeking.
I think it's actually, I changed my mind. I think it's really good to listen to Hasan because the projection is so good. He'll tell you, because he's not clever enough to actually invent anything going on the other side. He just ascribes what he does to me. So I think it's good to listen to him because you can figure out, okay, well, what does Hasan actually do? Okay, so he gives them talking points, so they're not truth seeking. That's why he never shows any original videos, and it's always these like clips and cut-ups. Yeah.
Unproductive usually.
But you're only doing this if you don't know what you're talking about, and it's an attempt to kind of like slide past the actual arguments because you can't address them.
I might not necessarily be right or wrong, but they're arguments that I've thought about before. It's not that I'm smart. It's that the
person
this is like a
6-year-old clip.
Incredibly unprepared.
It's not like my position is hidden. I'm just not going to argue every single possible point that I have if I show up to argue with somebody about something, right?
If I can find some guy that's really confident in his positions, it's super loud about him online, I'm about to get a 300,000 view YouTube video roasting and grilling the fuck out of them on my stream, right? That's what we do, right? We're debate bros.
What is winning?
The person deletes their account after?
If they
or gets fired from their job?
Humiliated.
Yeah.
Like, how do you feel after you win?
Oh,
like
Hasan is so mad that I went on this show and that
When
his
I
dog
debate
shit episode
somebody,
hasn't been
I'll be
released.
really fucking brutal, and then I want that person to like feel like an idiot. I want them to look like an idiot. If I make your content creator look like an idiot, well, ooh, now you kind of feel like an idiot. That doesn't feel good. I'm the debater archetype.
Yeah. You do the same shit. You act like you are knowledgeable and act like you are. You do the same shit, bud.
Ooh, that guy's getting ultra banned.
I would like for you to present some examples if you possibly could. Like, there are issues that I'm not the most knowledgeable on, and I will
like
be...
Israel, Palestine?
I will readily admit
and everything
it.
having to do with U.S. foreign and domestic policy?
I don't know why people immediately go, oh, this is projection. Especially when I'm talking about something like a position that I've held for a very long time.
Like, Lil Gup, you're literally spam watching a hate Twitter channel about me that is cutting 4-second clips out of multiple videos that are like 5+ years apart from each other. Are you okay?
Immediately. I wanna hear what he has to say. But basically, my point is this, okay? When you don't have a moral compass or something that guides you through the world, like when you don't have like a empathetic approach to all subjects, okay?
Like when you're making fun of Poles, when you're making fun of Israelis, when you're making fun of Jewish people, when you're like, what?
Destroying your ideological opponents in the marketplace of ideas, the audience that you foster in that process is not invested in a political project usually. They're just simply invested.
The political project of watching streams, because that's the only political project you've been involved in, and doing dono drives.
They like the drama. Does that make sense? And I don't like the toxicity that brings on, because then you're kind of at the whims of your audience. They constantly want you to burn bridges. They constantly want you to write manifestos and drop nukes on people. And not only do I think that is unproductive in creating both class consciousness or creating a larger tent, like-minded individuals.
Like when you're saying America deserved 9/11 and that Dan Crenshaw got fucked in the eye socket by a brave Mujahideen soldier, or when rich women getting raped by rich men at colleges is marginally better than Poor women getting raped by rich men?
of me or this community. This is something that I have time and time again railed against chatters on when they're so unimaginably uncharitable. Right?
Unimaginably uncharitable.
I have
as he watches an actual hater account, an anti-fan account that posts like 15 different like 2-second clips of me back to back to back.
Stream, stop reacting to 6-year-old clips that are designed to make him look bad. Lamau attack. What are you? I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about.
What? I don't know what you're talking.
Are you talking about
what?
Destiny? 6-year-old clips.
And
I
I'm
think this
very-
is like new shit.
Oh, and now he pretends. Oh, I like how he says,
About-
I think this is new shit. Like he doesn't know every single detail about my current set because he's watching my shit constantly.
Like audience that it attracts. And I think you're kind of proving that point that I was making.
And he's on the current clip, but he's not talking about the one like 2 clips ago.
You'll disregard people's view and bash them if they don't align with yours. I don't know. Like you say, sorry. You say you're a socialist, but actively benefiting from capitalism. Sorry to be rash in my first comment.
Bro,
Wait.
so capitalism or socialism is when no house?
But
say
it has
say
nothing to do with the first comment that you said.
Say it. Socialism is when I can't have a house or a car?
The first thing that you said was that I present myself as the most knowledgeable person and then immediately try to like bully and ridicule the person I'm talking to. And there's plenty of moments where I do that, but that's usually after the charitability has gone away, where I see someone and treat them as a hostile factor.
Except this rarely happens because he only talks to people that agree with him.
Now, for me to get there, it usually takes a decent amount of charity to erode for me to get to that position. And I only do it if it's like, it's pattern recognition to a certain degree. I only do it when like people are very clearly coming from a different community with a specific purpose to actively brigade or to actively disrupt, to actively derail. That's usually when I yell.
Okay, back to the anti-fan channel with the clips of me, please.
As far as the socialist but actively benefiting from capitalism goes, it is impossible to not exist under capitalism.
There it
just
is.
so you
No
understand.
ethical
if you are
consumption.
truly interested in understanding this,
Yeah.
there is no way to exist outside of those confines. But in terms of like the commodities that I produce, or my own personal.
I don't understand what is the argument that Destiny changed and old debate clips of him doesn't matter. It seems like he is a debate bro. I don't know if you're talking about me or Hasan. The reason why I'm criticizing him for using old clips, it's not, it's truly, that's just because it's the easiest criticism to make. The actual criticism is that when you say somebody's a debate bro, the actual argument that you're making is that the person is not interested in intellectually engaging with an argument. They're not doing any research into the argument. They're just looking for like cheap owns or wins or whatever. That's not what I do, though. I do more research than any other of these big fucking loser retard streamers or political pundits on the internet. Ask any of them to publish their research. Oh, publish your notes. Publish what you read. Show us. And don't just link a book that you've never opened in your entire life. Publish it. Show us. Show one stream ever of you learning about a topic, ever. Just one time. They don't do it because they don't do any research. They don't do any studying. They don't do any learning. They don't take any notes. They don't do any work for any of this shit at all. They just show up in front of the camera. They eat like 7 meals on stream, and then they just watch like tweets and YouTube compilations or whatever. So when you cut like a 5-second clip of me explaining, well, in some debates, my goal is to make the other person just look dumb because the person's not going to hear me, and that's the most effective way to communicate with the audience. That is true for certain debates. That is how I approach it. Like if I'm going to go and argue with like a crazy hater Nazi guy or whatever, yeah, my goal is probably not to convince him because I don't think he's going to change his mind. My goal is probably just to make him look dumb on certain points. When I was talking to Owen Schroyer, that was the goal in that debate. I could see immediately, oh, this is going to be incredibly hostile, so I just have to make him look stupid. That doesn't mean that every single approach to all of my debates is looking stupid. Not only is that not true, I literally publish my notes on my rhetorical approaches to my debates. You can literally see like nothing in here is about making the person look stupid, right? Rhetorical notes, stop hedging so much. Always restate narratives as much as possible during questions and responses. Make sure to maintain chain of argumentation from before and after. Like none of these approaches is like, be debate bro, blah, 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 blah. Like it's just rhetorical approach, demeanor with Omar, calm with measured approach, far more aggressive than general conversations, take notes, respond to everything, less hedging, certainty with factual disagreement. Like it's just cringe that like he just like repeats the same, like these are just like brainless, retarded fucking talking points.
That's it. It's just, these are just like, it's sloganeering. It's like what Trump does. He's just like the Donald Trump dude. He just like repeats like baseless shit that has no like foundation of reality. Don't ever engage with any of the actual source material. Always watch, like maliciously cut clips or edits and then show that to your audience, pretend that's the reality, and then move on to the next thing. That's it.
With other prominent socialists, like this is not dogmatic. You know what I mean? I'm not an orthodox Marxist.
How is he showing you on Twitch if you were banned?
I hope you
They changed the rule for him so he could watch all my shit.
Irritable about this. I think everyone deserves nice things. And that socialism inherently is not a poverty cult.
Oh, there
it's
it
simply
is.
what people have decided is a poverty cult. Like other people have just decided that it is a poverty cult. So now you have to abide by the standards that I have presented for you.
Destructive instead of constructive in my conversations.
Yeah.
Maybe the point of a debate is actually to try and bring people together and talk about things that are important to us rather than to tear each other down.
Okay. I'm constantly tearing down and I can show somebody why their argument is bad. But then when you walk away from it at the end, I'm just like a destructive force. Like I'm literally like that clip right there. That was literally cut from a conversation I had with JJ where I'm talking about like, I think being constructive in debates is more effective than being destructive in debates all the time. Like it's such a dishonestly cut thing. God, he's such a disgusting subhuman piece of shit. Oh my God, I hate him so much. I legitimately hate this person. Like, he's like a actual force for evil. It's just like the Trump. He's just like Trumponian. Like that last clip there, I'm pretty sure was cut from this conversation. Actually a good precedent. Like, would we really want to say that you could do something horrible to somebody if their children benefit in the future? It's like the argument that left-wing people use for climate change and all that you hate so much. So yes, definitely you take people where they are. I asked you earlier if you ever were like the debater archetype. I'm the debater archetype, and I'm very destructive instead of constructive in my conversations. And I've had I'm trying to figure out recently how do I want to like orient myself through this world, like because I have a big problem in debates to where I'm constantly tearing down and I can show somebody why their argument is bad, but then when you walk away from it at the end, I'm just like a destructive force. And I asked you for your thing because you said that, and your statement was incredibly positive. I felt patriotic because you want to talk about like political fluency, you want to talk about like positive aspects. How do you? In a world of online politics where everything is relentlessly negative, is this like a mindset where you're like, I want to tear down Trudeau for trying to do gun legislation because something that happened in Texas, but today I'm going to talk about something positive. What does that process look like for you?
I don't know. I mean, it's quite interesting talking with you, Stephen. This is probably the longest I've consumed you in any form.
Okay.
And you...
Like, this has been a thing I've talked about on my stream for years, is like making more constructive arguments rather than destructive arguments. But even destructive arguments aren't talking about being mean to somebody in a debate. It just means that you're making negative claims about a particular thing rather than presenting like a positive alternative. But you can do that politely or negatively. You can also be constructive, like in a mean way versus in a positive way. So it's not even really related to what he's talking about. It's just like a fucking clip farm. But that Twitter account is also, I think that Twitter account is called like Destiny versus Destiny. It's just an anti-fan Twitter account that will just try to like clip and cut like 30 different clips of me, like 5 seconds each to show how I'm like contradicting myself.
A lot of the things that I talk about.
Destructive is in dismantling opposing arguments. Yes. So like the way that I typically approach things in my mind intuitively is when I see a bad argument, I'm usually thinking like, this is bad because of this or that or that or that or that or that. And then we go through the data and discreetly or whatever. And that's how I view things. But most people tend to view things constructively in that they want like a positive narrative presented and then they'll grab onto the narrative and then the facts come later. So one thing I've always, I think I've worked on this for years and sometimes I'm good at it. Sometimes it just depends on who I'm debating. It's like presenting a more positive argument rather than just presenting critiques of the other argument.
But here I am talking about my perspective all the way back, I believe in 2019, talking about my attitude towards debate.
People in Destiny's community know your position. If you keep getting stuck on it so much, it shows that you seem triggered, therefore losing in the marketplace of ideas, which, by the way, is also indicative that like most people's understanding of debates are fucking idiotic. Further evidence that debates are not good for arriving at the truth and just simply about overwhelming your opponent rhetorically.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's what I think debates are.
Like I like for me, it's, well, here's the fuck Destiny anti-fan Twitter account. And then for him, it's like, well, here's a clip of myself that I want to present to you from a long time ago.
And destroy the talking points of someone who is ideologically your enemy. Okay? But if you are engaging in debate for the spirit of debate, because that's your primary form of content, you're inevitably going to run out of shit that you care about, and you are going to start debating the efficacy of child pornography or the
And
ethics
incest.
of accruing CSAM. Like, that's it. That's insane. That's
Like, this is the... Dude, if anybody had the fucking balls... no, this wouldn't even be defamation to sue. It's just so gross. I don't know how I know how he lives with himself. He's trolling at this point. No, he's not trolling. But this is intentional. This is a grift, right? This is like the Tim Pool, the Steven Crowder, is you sit here because you lack the intellectual capacity. No, it's actually more malicious than that. It's actually not even that he lacks it, because I think he probably could. He's a reasonably well-spoken dude. He's well-read enough to like spew his bullshit. He's literate. If he wanted to, he could dive into the arguments, but he doesn't need to, and he doesn't want to. It's easier to grift. It's easier to just like repeat the bullshit talking points, to never engage with anything on substance, because God forbid you expose yourself to being incorrect about anything ever. So you never stake out a research position on anything. You just recite like the same bullshit you see on Twitter. You never confront anybody adversarially. You always bring on people to circle jerk and agree with your opinions. And the only targets you ever snipe are 15-year-old Israeli chatters or people from the commentary community like Willie Mack, and still lose. Like...
And they like the sense of identity and the sense of community they get from participating in these sorts of actions. They like being a part of the process. They like being a part of the blood sport themselves. Anyway. I think you're right about most stuff. I just don't understand the need to sign an exclusive streaming contract with Amazon when you know it's only done to support Amazon and push people to get Amazon Prime and peddle their ads. To me, declining an exclusive contract with Amazon seems like the bare minimum. Well,
True!
You don't have to have this argument any longer, because
You're
not
banned.
only do I not have a contract with Amazon any longer, even though I still
does he
am
avoid?
technically
He doesn't even
on
answer.
an Amazon platform, I also no longer serve ads. So I guess that talking point kind of falls apart, don't you?
Except no, because you probably made
No, of course the reason
over $10 million
an
on
Amazon
that
contract is
contract. Look how he doesn't even answer the question. I think that you're a bad person because you raped 15 women in a single night. And it's like, do you see anybody on my dick right now? Didn't think so. So why are you even bringing it up, dipshit? Those women are dead. Why the fuck are you even talking about it, retard? Am I raping anybody right now in this conversation? Looks like you lost that talking point, didn't you, dipshit? Like, what a retarded fucking thing to say. Like, you have to be, there has to be somebody listening to this. Some of these people listening to this must realize how fucking stupid his answers are, right?
perspective. I know how to play ball, which allows me charitability as a person who still...
Also, you didn't choose to quit that Amazon contract. You got dropped.
Platform that I can have the most amount of impact. Okay? Yes. I don't have an issue peddling the ads of Amazon, especially when the contract that I took on was advocated to make sure that I ran the least amount of ads that I can.
No.
Without.
Nope, that's not true. That's a lie. That's a lie. You didn't have to take that contract.
Sure that
make up a lie, quick. Make up a lie, because that's
without
bullshit.
making sure that I had any additional problems.
No, what?
At
Any
the
additional
time when
problems?
the contract
What, were they gonna
renegotiations
ban
were
you?
happening 2 years ago. That's such Copeland, play ball, drop ball, morals.
You're
and political
lying. He's lying. You didn't have to take. He took a premium partner contract.
Content-
The premium partner contract was to force you to push ads. You don't have to do it.
You're greedy and move on, bro. Okay.
That was a choice that he
Notice how
made.
This conversation started with like some semblance of charitability and very quickly turned into just admit you're greedy and move on, bro.
Thank you.
Let's say
Yes.
that I am.
Yeah, let's say
What
that you are.
changes about the arguments that I've presented? Let's say that I love capitalism. I'm a capitalist.
Let's say that I'm a debate bro. How does that change the arguments I presented? You spend every single waking second on your stream character attacking me. And now you're upset when people attack your actions? So now you want to say, well, just take me at my arguments?
Now let's talk about the things that I talk about. Do you have an issue with any of the things that I talk about? Are you simply that simple-minded that you're just like, oh, dude, socialism means no ads? Yes, because you present as anti-capitalism and anti-capitalism. No, I'm not. I just said that I love capitalism. I am.
Remember, Hasan He didn't even want to run ads. He was forced to do it. Like, Hasan isn't even a big ad guy. He doesn't even like running ads. Fuck. Where's the,
Mr. Beast has been...
Oh, no. Find me this clip.
Oh, it's back. It's back. It's back. Okay, well, I'm running an ad, chat. So you already know the deal. It's top of the fucking hour, even though it's not. Because, well, I didn't run so many ads.
Yeah, you should catch up now.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking pump out some of these ads. That's the thing, like, IRL streams are so much fun, but, like, they're just not as good as, like, regular streams. Like, you can't fucking run the ads, like...
You do IRL for the content. But
Yeah.
if you always do IRL, especially the way we do IRL, like, you just lose a ton of money.
Yeah, you, like... It's always interesting, like, no one fucking subscribes. They don't give a fuck. They're like... IRL streamers don't subscribe. Ever. What are you eating?
Like, why didn't he just say here, oh yeah, it's hard because of my contract, or it's hard to meet my contractual obligations? Notice how he doesn't say that? Notice how he complains about lack of money. He agrees when S-Man says it. Yeah, you don't make as much money. And notice how he says nobody subscribes either, not as much money. But it's always the cope that his fan base will buy. Also, notice how I Googled the story, and then I found the story, and then I'm watching the full clip of him explaining it here, even though he's still going to say that this was out of context, and then go back to watching a little anti-fan account of mine in order to prove my hypocrisy by cutting 3-second statements out of different conversations 6 years apart from each other. But his fan base will still eat this slop up, even though he's like just lying. He's just lying.
At the time, they had actually stopped the process of offering the more favorable split of subscription revenue. So the only opportunity I had to maintain my same subscription revenue
your money, yes,
was if I got a contract.
The
They
premium
changed that.
partner
Luckily,
contract.
they don't have this anymore.
This is,
But at the
he
time-
admitted it, but he's not saying it directly. Yes,
I
you didn't
had to
take
get
it
a
because you
contract.
had to. You wanted the
And
more money,
the
bro.
only way that
You
I
wanted
could get
the
a contract
premium.
is if I ran ads.
Yes.
Now that I don't have this contract, I no longer run ads. So that should be proof for many people, right? If you were truly interested in understanding my worldview, you would be like, well, let me interrogate this a little bit. Let me examine this a little bit. If you're not interested in that at all and simply are there for the blood sport and your job is to
I thought that was a fan account. No. Is it Destiny versus Destiny? Oh fuck! Somebody can. Oh, is it this tiny? Hold on, I don't even know what's going to show up on this account. Driving is more important than healthcare.
Yeah, driving is, that's also a really great point too, is that you don't have to drive,
Oh.
but you do have to
Have health insurance?
have healthcare, right?
Being able to drive is probably more important for most Americans than having access to a hospital, right? For the percentage of Americans that have like life-ending healthcare situations, this is just true. I'm sorry. I can't believe people are upset about this. Well, at least this one is like a full cut and he doesn't actually clip in a million other things. FYI, healthcare doesn't equal health insurance. Hope this helps. Destiny's ADL audition tape. I'm starting to look at a lot of people who are Muslim or with Arabic names that talk
Better term than that.
For like older people and mainstream Republicans, like Israel is still like number older.
inherited on racist war machine in Israel. I am going to the ADL. True. But no, this is an anti-fan account. With 230 followers, Hasan is obsessed.
bare necessities budget. So can I ask you something? In all
Did you mean having access to any form of transportation or like a personal vehicle in particular? Personal vehicle in particular is necessary for most Americans, like over 70%, I think.
Invested in this Hasan, you're a socialist thing. I'm not. I'm a capitalist. I love capitalism. I asked you to argue against positions that I have, like, you know, moving American society in the direction of a social democracy, for example. This is what I believe. This is something that I'm very public about. Free healthcare, free education, and the like. Are you so simple-minded as to constantly go, You're a socialist, and socialism is a poverty cult, and you need to abide by these standards that I placed upon you, instead of having a more productive, more intellectual conversation.
I hope it doesn't work. People need to make more hate clips of Hasan. I hope it doesn't work, because you can tell that he's like desperately trying to rebrand to become more like palatable towards mainstreamish DNC people. That's like his next grift platform, and he's like desperately trying to appear more moderate.
Of ideas. Do you have any specific policy prescriptions to achieve free healthcare and free education? Everything you say is just vibes-based analysis?
Yep.
Well, there are plenty of videos that you can watch that I have done over the course of the past 10 years, I would say, on all of those issues. Maybe you should go and watch them and then come back, because this is ultimately the reason why I ban debating or annoying derailers, because they're simply invested in drama baiting. And I was having a different conversation here, and there's
Wait, asking you, do you have any specific policy prescriptions to achieve free healthcare and free education? Everything you say is just vibes. That's drama? This is a drama question? What? That's a drama question?
Sure. And not because you're being unimaginably selfish. You only debate Tran and XQC. First of all,
XQC is a good debater.
that's not true. And I think you know that as well. I debate people when I find it to be productive, if they have a large enough audience that have individuals that I can potentially change the minds on. Don't forget Willie McLemore. I know. And the 15-year-old Israeli that bodied you. At a certain point,
he's mad.
I think people understand exactly what's going on. We've gone far past that point. But hey, I almost want to fucking bring you up on guest star. I wonder where this guy came from. Yeah, I know.
Like, the random chatter.
Me being like, listen, do you have an issue with my advocacy for socialized medicine? And you go, my favorite idiotic drama farmer actually made a video on you, openly admitted that he actually didn't even know that I was covering BBC's analysis.
Oh, wait. Willie Mack is an idiotic drama farmer? Then why did you have a conversation with him? I thought you avoided those people.
I was saying that I was against.
Oh, it might be because Willie Mack has, is it 5 million or 6 million YouTube subs? Oh, 200. Maybe it's because Willie Mack is like expertised in Israel Palestine. Maybe it's because
over and over again over the course of the past 10 years. If you have,
just so you know, Hasan will never debate somebody like this because he's terrified that a person like this is gonna Sam Cedar him with me. That I'm gonna like sneak in through Discord and he's gonna fucking end his life on stream.
Then you should be able to come in and bring those points up. This was ironically something that I brought up with Willie Mack as well. I was like, Willie, you seemingly have a very, you seemingly have this this very serious conviction, right? You have all of these like these convictions against like what I do. Can you please bring them up? And he was like, well, watch my YouTube video. I was like, okay.
You brought him on to debate about his YouTube video and you didn't even watch it. You had criticism about his video and you didn't watch the video. What do you, like he's rewriting history live. He's rewriting history. It's the Trump shit. This is the Republican shit. It's the authoritarian fascist shit. He's just rewriting history live.
All of my commentary comes from reading Twitter posts.
It does.
Okay. Especially when you're here a week after I had the fucking Federal Trade Commissioner, okay? The commissioner of the FTC, Ta-Nehisi Coates, where I
don't know how to explain this. Having a big person on and then having a surface level conversation with them about like a breaking news topic is not like an in-depth conversation. That's not like a thing that you brag about. That's not like a, I learned so much. That's like a, come on and talk to me about like the current policy stuff. Like, why would you even brag about that?
Conversation.
Also, why would you make fun of Willie Mack telling you to watch his video that you were already making fun of before? But then when this chatter just asked you, give a policy for healthcare, give a policy for education, you say, go watch my YouTube videos on it. I just looked it up and there are none. I don't see any. What? How hard is it to just name a couple policy positions?
No understanding of any of the policies that I have advocated for. Am I getting that right?
Like you could have
Because I
done
didn't
it
just
by
give
now.
one
You could have
policy
done.
example. I gave multiple.
You could have done it by now.
In terms of universal health care.
That's like a that's not you're not naming
inevitably
anything
moving
to.
towards a nationalized structure.
Oh, okay.
Or free
that's it,
college
okay.
education.
Oh, okay.
These are both policies. It's
yes.
not vibes based
That
at
is
all.
policies,
These
yes.
are policies that are implemented
Oh.
in countries like the one I come from, Turkey. Turkey has a nationalized healthcare structure, and on top of that, there's also private elements as well. Turkey also has free public education. Buzzwords. What do you think policies are?
They're slogans. What do you think a policy is? I'm just rereading that email. The really annoying thing is because the average Republican, in this case it's Hasan fan, is more right than the average Democrat is left. It's easier to sloganize policy. Extreme positions almost necessitate a lack of nuance, and so they get a home field advantage in both being able to be simplistic and extreme in their policies or slogans, which means more engagement from their audience and those that disagree. Therefore, the algorithm is going to promote it, even without an Elon-driven bias, and since the arguments against that slogan's policy require even 1% of nuance to understand, they're ignored/silenced. This is the foundation of the it's just common sense. What are your policies? My policy is universal healthcare and universal education. Oh, cool, okay. What about your foreign policy? Oh, world peace. Oh, okay.
You can't just cite the dozens of videos in which you read tweets and claim you have a policy prescribed on how to achieve free healthcare and education. I am for universal healthcare. Oh, you are? Oh, fantastic. So what's your disagreement with my advocacy for universal healthcare? I think that considering that healthcare across the board, okay, whether it's pharmaceuticals or any sort of medical
It's more
care
expensive
whatsoever,
in the United States than in every other country.
Is it good with inelastic demand that
Oh.
there should either be severe market regulation?
That's not true.
By the
inelastic demand? What are you talking about? Even medically necessary things don't have an inelastic demand, right? I'm on Vyvanse and I need it. It's medically necessary to treat my ADHD, but the demand for that is not inelastic. I could live without fucking Vyvanse. There's a ton of different treated things in the United States where you could live without. The demand is not inelastic whatsoever. It's I can't watch him. Fuck, he's an idiot. He's just a fucking retard. I can't watch this. Hold on. I'm getting too triggered. Stop. Fuck, he's so stupid. Oh, it's okay.